Welcome to step 1 of learning SEO. This is a series of short videos that teach SEO one puzzle piece at a time. If you need a longer explanation, see the link below for the intro video to the series. Okay, let's get started with step number 1. What's a title tag and why is it so important? The title tag is important to both users and the search engine, like Google. Let's take a look at each and see how each uses them and sees it. For visitors, even if the page title doesn't appear on the web page, which it doesn't in some cases, it will still always appear in other areas. For example, on many browsers, it's displayed on the top tab of the window, and visitors are bound to see it there. For many web pages, as the name suggests, it does display in large prominent text on the web page, so users will see that too. However, the most important and overlooked reason is that the title is also what's displayed in large text in search engine results. And it better make sense there, or nobody's going to click on that link to your web page. And that's what this is all about, getting people to click that link to your web page. For search engines like Google, the title tag is important because it's one of the many elements it uses to attempt to understand what the page is about. Search engines don't view web pages like most humans. They view the HTML code, so even if the page title isn't displayed, it still sees it. And in this example, when the title is displayed on the page, if you scroll further down in the HTML, you'll see that it's wrapped in an H1 tag. Similar to the title tag, the heading tags, H1, H2, H3, so forth, are also important. Oftentimes, programmers use CSS styles to make H1 text show up most prominently on the page. So search engines like Google try to use these tools to understand what the page is about. If it's in big, bold text across the top of the page, it must be what the page is about, right? So to search engines, they see web pages like this. Whatever's in the title tag is what it thinks is likely most important subject on the page, and likely what that page is about. If the page isn't about what's in your title tag, you might want to think about that. H1 tags are still pretty darn important, then H2, and then H3, so forth. Parts of that paragraph, the P tag, are important too to some level, but typically there's so much copy text in this area that the words here don't seem as important to search engines. But do note that I did bold the first part of that first sentence, so there is some of it there that's still fairly important. Okay. Now that you know how important title tags are to both visitors and search engines, it's action time. Go to an existing page on your website and review the title tag and see if it could be improved. Does the title match the contents of the page? It shouldn't say drumsticks in the title if the page is actually about pianos. View the HTML of your page. Look for the view source option in your browser, typically under the developer section, and just look through that HTML and see, does your website use H1 tags? It's good to know, and it probably should. Finally, do a really specific search on Google or another search engine to try to find your web page in those search results. Try to make it as specific as possible if your page isn't showing up until you do finally find it. And then pretend that you're a visitor and not knowing anything about your web page. Does the title that shows up there make sense for what they'll see if they click through to your website? It better. All right, that's it for step 1. It might not seem like a lot, but it's the first piece of the puzzle. And if you take the suggested action, you're off to a good start. When you're ready for the next step, you'll find a link below for a video on step number 2, meta descriptions. Good luck. By the way, feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know if this is helpful to you, or if you'd recommend starting differently. I'd love to know. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.